everyone. So, I wanted to touch about a topic that's very dear to me, very close to my heart, and I wanted to talk about it and share my story with you. And I've shared my story with you guys before a little bit in some of my other videos, but I'm not really sure if I've actually told you my whole story. So I wanted to share my story with you today. I don't know if many of you know that November is a special month for a lot of people, including myself. November is Adoption Awareness Month, and it's very close to my heart because I am adopted, and I think a lot of you know that, and I think I've touched base on that. My sister and I are both adopted, and so this month is just an awesome month for me. A lot of stuff happens in this month. I mean, you have Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful for having a mom who has decided to adopt me and my sister. Both of my kids have birthdays this month. My daughter just celebrated her birthday last week. My son is getting ready to celebrate his birthday the week of Thanksgiving. So, you know, this month is just an awesome month for me in general. So this video is just basically my story on being adopted. So, as you know, I am adopted. I was born in Panama on the San Blas Islands. So, yep, I'm Panamanian, and I love being Panamanian. I wouldn't change it for anything. I'm Kuna Indian, and I don't know if a lot of you know that it's different from being like Panamanian. I'm Kuna Indian, which is the native Indian of Panama. So I'm not mixed with anything, because there's a lot of people that are mixed in Panama, but I'm not. I am straight up Kuna Indian. So my story. How's my story. Well, my mom really wanted to have a family. She wanted to get married. She wanted to start a family. She wanted her own family, but things just didn't work out for her that way. She couldn't meet someone who wanted a family at the time she did. She was getting older. She didn't want to wait too much longer to start a family, so she decided she was going to adopt. And so at the time, she was stationed in Panama. My mom is a teacher, and so she was stationed in Panama, and she started putting out to orphanages and churches that she wanted to adopt. Now in Panama, and I don't know if it's changed since then, like now, but back when my mom was, putting in for adoption and stuff, if you were a woman, you could only adopt a girl baby. If you were a guy, you could adopt only a boy. If you were married, then of course you could either adopt a boy or a girl. So since my mom was just a single lady at the time, she could only adopt a girl. And at that time, and still now, she didn't really care if she didn't have a preference of, I just want to have a boy, I just want to have a girl. Like, she didn't care. She just wanted to start a family. So she put her feelers out to people saying, I'm ready to adopt. And these nuns came across her name and contacted her and say, hey, I have a child for you if you want to come and meet her and her family and just come meet her. So my mom jumped on the next little plane, because again, I'm on the San Blas Islands, away from the mainland. So she jumped on the plane, and she came and she met my family. Now, this is why I was put up for adoption. My mom and my dad at the time already had 2 other kids. I have an older brother and an older sister, and I was the baby. I was constantly sick as a baby, constantly have fevers, ear infections, constantly sick. And we came from a poor family. We lived in grass huts. We lived and we slept in hammocks. We didn't have beds. We didn't have running water. We didn't have electricity. You know, we didn't have anything that you would have here as a modern day family. So, because I was constantly sick as a child, my family had to make a decision. They had to make a decision on either letting me die because they couldn't afford the medicine, or putting me up for adoption and giving me a better life and having somebody else provide for me better than they could. And that's a really hard decision any family, any parent has to come up with. And so they decided to go with adoption. And so I don't have the picture here. Somewhere, I have it somewhere, but I wish I had the picture here. I have the picture that the nuns took of me the day they put up on the board with all the other babies, and my mom has that picture, and I don't have it here. I don't think I have it here in my. I have some pictures I'm going to show you, but I don't have it with me. I guess I didn't grab that. But so yeah. So my mom flew out with her friend, and she came, she met me, she fell in love with me from the first time she saw me. And because, like I said, we came from a poor family, and if they couldn't catch food, and they were fishermen, if they couldn't catch food that day or whatnot, they didn't eat. So like I said, I came from a poor family. So many people, I don't know if you know, but if you meet children that come from a poor country or a poor family who can't provide food for them on a daily basis, I don't know if you noticed that those children have these round tummies, these bloated tummies, these stuff, and it's because of malnutrition. That's what it is. So I was one of those babies. I had one of those big fat tummies and you would think, oh, she's getting food, she's looks healthy, but no, I wasn't. I just with malnutrition. So anyway, so here is here is my island. This is my mom took a picture on the way there in Panama. And here is can you see it? My island. You see that? You can't really see it. So, and then here is, and it's not a really good picture, but here is my mom. That's my real mom, and that's me as a baby. I'll zoom get closer. That's me as a baby, and that's my mom. So, and then here is my mom, my dad, my sister, and I don't think my brother's not in there at the time, but that's my mom, my dad, my sister. My mom is Carolina, my dad was Jose, my sister is Michaela, and my brother is named Davis. And as you can see in that picture, you can see the back of the house. Yeah, that was the house. Here's my brother at the time when he was young. And see the grass hut. And let's see. This was my grandma at the time. Can you see it? Is there a glare? I'm trying not to make a glare. You see my grandma? That was my grandma. And, darkness. Sorry. So here is another picture of my mom in a hammock. She's making a mola. That's what my people are known for, making molas. And my sister's in there. And these are what we slept in. And so this is basically what I slept in with her. Here is my mom. And that's my sister. And there's me. My mom, Carolina. My sister, Malika. I said Michaela earlier and I meant Malika. And that's me. My family did name me, and they named me Joselina Manuela Rodriguez Perez. My mom did change my name when she adopted me, only because that was such a long name, And she felt like people would have a really hard time trying to pronounce it, trying to say all of it, and so she changed my name to Kayla. I don't regret her changing it. You know, I love my other name, but I also love my name Kayla too. And like, again, I love that I'm adopted, and my mom's my everything to me now. So anyway, those are some pictures of you know, my family, my birth family. I have gone back and saw them when I was 8, but I'll get to that. So then my mom fell in love with me, and she said, yes, I want her. So she started the whole adoption process and began. My mom was worried that my family would change their mind, which what other parent wouldn't be worried when you're trying to adopt a child? So we moved, and here's my mom. This was taken in March 1987. So here's me, and that's my mom. And this was taken not too long after my mom put in for adoption, and so this is recent. This was right after she met me, so not too long after she met me. So there's that. That's my mom. I have a tattoo here, but I actually got the wrong date. But anyway, it's an adoption tattoo. You see that? Doop, doop, doop. But I don't care, as long as I know the real date. I accidentally put the wrong one in there, but that's fine. It's just little. So she started the adoption process. We've moved. We moved to Germany. We went to Korea, and then we moved to Japan. And she provided me everything that I needed: love, a mom. She gave me strength. She's given me life. She's made me the person who I am now. I love it. Here is another picture. Can you see? There's my mom again. That's my mom. And that's me. I told you, my mom and I are really close. And there's my mom and me again. This time I'm a little older. Older in there. So, when I was 8 years old, my mom wanted to adopt again. She wanted to have me to have a sibling. And so, when I was 8, she asked me if I was ready to have a sibling. Was I ready to have a brother or a sister? And so I really wanted a sibling. So I said I want a sister. And my mom started the adoption process again. And luckily, she still had friends there in Panama who are awesome friends. And the person who contacted my mom, this person and her family, they adopted 2 kids themselves, and they ended up adopting, and we're still close with this family. We're still friends with them, and they ended up adopting my biological cousin. So they ended up adopting her, and they found my sister for my mom. My sister now actually comes from a different family. We're not like blood related. We don't come from the same mom and dad. She's actually from a different family, and they said, hey, we have a baby for you. She is she was like 5 weeks. She was about 5 weeks old, so she was brand new, and we flew to Panama to see her, and I knew automatically that this was my sister. I was going to take care of her. I was going to help raise her, and we're 8 years apart, and I think I mentioned that in my last one. We're 8 years apart, and we're super close. You would never think that because I'm older than her, I'm 29, she's 21 now, that because of our age gap that we would be as close as we are. I tell my sister everything, and she tells me pretty much everything. We're still, she's still young, but she does tell me a lot of things. So yes. But with my sister's adoption, it took a while. It was around the time when the judges were getting reelected, and so the one judge, he didn't really want to start the paperwork to start the adoption. And so at that time, we had to leave my sister there in Panama and fly back. So we left my sister with some friends and they finished the adoption process for us because my mom is a teacher and we had to come back. And then we flew back, got my sister and brought her back. And again, we're super close. And my mom is my everything. I tell my mom everything. Like literally, there are no secrets with my mom. I think the only thing that I have not told my mom is when I lost my virginity. Other than that, I swear, my mom knew everything. My mom knew who my friends liked. My mom knew like everything. Like that's how close me and my mom are. And my mom and I are still like that. Like even now, I cannot not tell her something because I still need my mom, you know, and I value her advice. So I tell my mom everything because I love to hear what she has to tell me. Like, Mom, this is going on in my life, and then she'll tell me how to work the situation, how to assess it, how to, you know, just things I need. And now that I have kids of my own, I ask her a lot about, you know, kids situations, school situations, and she's really awesome and gives me the best advice. So that's my adoption story. I tried to sum it up, you know, and that's as much as I know. I've always known I was adopted ever since I was little. You're probably like, how is that? And because when my mom would drop me off in preschool, you know, daycare, the kids would come up saying, "This is your mom. She's not the same color as you." And I said, "Yes, this is my mom. I'm adopted." And I knew at a young age, understood what it meant to be adopted. My mom never sugarcoated anything. She told me when I could understand that I was adopted. She told me a little bit of my situation. It's as much as a 4-year-old, 5-year-old can understand. She told me, so I always knew that I was adopted, and it wasn't a big deal to me. She was my mom. I didn't care what color she was. Nobody made fun of me. You know, there are some people that get made fun of for being with a different colored family. I never did, but I grew up in a military surroundings, and everybody there is, I say, a rainbow. Everybody's different colors. They come from different backgrounds, different religion, different, you know, just different things. So we're all basically the same boat. So like I said, I've always known that I was adopted. I never knew that I was not adopted. My mom was always straight up with me. Recently, I told my kids that I'm adopted because, they didn't really ask. They knew that my mom, their grandma, was their grandma, but they never really asked why we were different colors. And so I don't remember what it was. We were talking about something in the car. And it just kind of led to this adoption thing. And I tried to explain to them that mommy is adopted and that mommy comes from a different family, but that grandma had so much love in her heart and was willing to love me so much and to provide for me and to care for me that she became my new mommy. And they don't really understand that because, it's hard for them to understand and to live it, I guess, compared to me when I was their age. I knew I was adopted. I knew that she wasn't my birth mom, that she's my mom now. And it's just hard for them to really understand it. So hopefully one day when they're older, I really want to go back when they're older, to go back to Panama. I really want to take them back. I want to hopefully try and find my family again, because the last time I saw them I was 8. I was 8 years old, but last time I saw my family, and my mom, my birth mom, cried so hard. I mean, what mom wouldn't cry when you expect to give away your child and you don't expect to ever see them again in your whole entire life? And so when my aunt contacted my family that I was back and that I was coming to visit, it was really emotional. It was very, I was so nervous. I was 8 years old. I was so nervous. I remember waking up at 5 in the morning to get ready to go on the small airplane to fly to the island. And I remember getting on, and I remember it was so noisy, the airplane, because it was so tiny. And we landed. My heart was beating so fast, and I was so nervous. And I stepped off the plane, and there's like the whole village was there, the whole tribe. We're standing there, and I got off, and I was so overwhelmed because I didn't know what my family looked like. I didn't know who they were. I saw pictures, but that was when they were younger, and people change. And my aunt automatically knew, so she went straight to them, and we were walking, and they saw me. They knew right away because it was me, my mom, and I think there might have been another couple, but they weren't with our group because I know there was somebody else there. And they came. My mom, my birth mom, came towards me, like put me in a huge hug, and started walking, like take me to their house. And the whole tribe, the whole village, everybody was there, was coming with us, it was noisy, people were talking, my mom was touching me, she was talking about me, this is my daughter, she's come back to see me, that's what my aunt had translated for us. She was so excited, she was like, come see my daughter, she's back. That, like, I remember, that's what my aunt was telling my mom and me. And I was so nervous that, I was like, I'm 8, and I was like, oh no, my mom's leaving me here. If you heard a clink, you can tell that was the cat. So, anyway, where was I? So I would turn around, and I would keep looking behind me to see if my mom was still there. And she was there, she was coming, she was sort of letting me have, my birth mom have, her time with me. She didn't want to intrude. It was a moment, and I was so nervous, so scared, so I just didn't know what to expect. Because when I was younger and I'd get in trouble or I'd get mad at my mom, I would always say, I'm going to go back and live with my real family. I blah, 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 blah. And I didn't really fully understand how they lived. I saw pictures, my mom would tell me, but I really didn't understand it until I was 8, and I went and I saw how they really lived. No windows, no air conditioning, no electricity, no TV, nothing, no beds. They slept in hammocks. And when I saw that, my eyes really opened, and I was like, wow, this could be my life if I wasn't adopted. I could be living here in this and not know anything, not know what's really out there, not know how to speak English. Our tribe doesn't speak Spanish, and I know people are like, you live in Panama, people speak Spanish in Panama. Yeah, no. Spanish is not our native language. Our native language is Chibcha, and that is what my family, my tribe, they still speak. They still speak Chibcha. They don't speak Spanish at all, and they knew a few words, but not a lot. So trying to communicate that to them was very difficult. So yeah, they took me around the island. They showed me off to everyone. We went to island to like see all the relatives, and yeah, it was amazing. I'm blessed to have been able to go and see them at such a young age, and I hope to one day go back and take my kids so that they can meet them. And so I'm just telling you my adoption story. This is just my story. I'm truly blessed, and I don't know what I would do without my mom. If she didn't adopt me, would I still be alive? Would I be here, or would I be there? And how would I be now? Like, For us, we get married at a very young age. Once we hit puberty, we're off and we're married. And, you know, that means I could have been married at the age of 10. I could have been off and married and already having kids by now, more than just the 2 I have. And so, yeah, I try and tell my kids every day where mommy comes from. I try and show them the stuff that I know. Like, I have a ton of molas. I'm like, this is where mommy's people make. I have some pictures. I have, you know, I'm trying to keep my culture, even though I don't know very much about it, alive in my family now, because my kids are half Panamanian and they need to, you know, I want them to know where I come from, even if I don't necessarily know all the traditions and the food that we eat there in Panama. I try my best. So anyway, this is just my adoption story, and I just wanted to tell you because it's the month of November, and I want to thank all of you who are adopted, who have adopted, who are in the process of adopting. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for choosing that. Thank you for taking another person and helping them and raising them and loving them. And you guys are just awesome people. I just want to thank my mom, who is my rock, my strength, my everything, for choosing me and my sister and loving us and giving us everything that she has. I'm gonna cry. Anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for just everything. Thank you again, everyone who has chosen adoption and who has adopted or in the process. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you so much for choosing this. And yeah, this is just my adoption story. So if you like this video, thumbs up, and to keeping out for more. And soon I will have some more videos coming up. Sorry, it's my son. More videos coming up. Things have just been so crazy here that it's just been hard to do videos. But thank you. Bye.